So what do you do as a nurse or healthcare worker if you're at work and ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, enters your medical facility and approaches you and demands patient information? What are you going to do? You guys have been asking me left and right for clarity on this. And so I want to say I am in no way an expert in this area at all. And this should not be construed as legal advice, but I have done quite a bit of research the last few days, and I have some notes, and I'm going to give you some resources at the end. But let's talk about it. Recent changes, as we all know, in federal immigration policy have potentially significant implications for nurses and healthcare workers. And we are hearing that this has already started taking place in Boston and New York and some other places. So we need to be prepared to the best of our ability. But, this is like new territory. I don't know that anyone really knows what we should be doing. And there's a lot of contradictory information out there. So if they approach you, first and foremost, you should immediately go to management, alert your chain of command. Like, you should not be the one as the frontline healthcare worker that is having to deal with this. You're not paid enough for that, okay? They need to handle that for you, right? Immediately refer it to someone above you. And if it were me, I'd be getting hospital legal on the phone because I want to make sure they are involved specifically. But if you choose to address it yourself, okay, you are within your rights to ask for identification from the agent, if they have a card, whatever. You can ask to see the warrant or subpoena. And if you do that yourself, what you want to be looking for is that it has a judge's signature or it's a court order. Okay, what you don't want is for it to only be signed by the ICE agent, because that's not legally binding. It should also have your medical facility's name listed on it. This is important to understand. I don't think a lot of people know this. Law enforcement and federal agents, they can legally lie to you in the course of an investigation. They can legally lie to you. Okay, this has been upheld by the Supreme Court. So do not take anything they say at face value. They're going to say, potentially, we have a subpoena, we have a warrant. Okay, let me see it. And then you're going to check for the things that I mentioned. A great example of this, you guys might recall, in the Redon-DeVot case some years ago, okay? Investigators showed up unannounced to Vanderbilt Hospital. They demanded all of the incident reports surrounding that event. And the hospital attorney was involved and said, well, no, that's protected information. No, we don't have to hand that over. And the investigator said, it's only protected information civilly, but this is now a criminal investigation. It is not protected criminally. So Vanderbilt handed over everything. They lied. They knowingly lied. That's not true. They found out later. Not true, but it was too late. And we all know how that turned out. Without a legal warrant or subpoena, you cannot. Hear me when I say this. It's not that you should not. It's that you cannot provide any PHI, any patient information, including whether or not someone is a patient there, okay? PHI, HIPAA protected. Undocumented people, also covered by HIPAA, okay? Healthcare workers are statutorily required to protect patients' identity and their health information. So if you violate that, you are now guilty of a HIPAA violation. You can opt not to answer their questions. You do not have to answer them. And I don't know is an answer. I don't know. I don't feel comfortable answering this. I am choosing not to answer that. I am going to refer you to my chain of command. You do not have to answer them. But what you don't want to do is lie to them, because knowingly giving false information or lying to them, that is actually illegal, and you could get yourself in trouble. Now here's one thing that everyone should be doing that I haven't heard a lot of people saying. Most hospitals and healthcare organizations already have policies in place that cover disclosure of information to law enforcement. So you should be pulling that policy now. Everyone should be getting that, reading that now, and not in the moment scrambling to get it, right? You should all be asking your employers for that policy. American Hospital Association, it's AHA.org, has some good resources. They have a 12-page guideline for releasing information to law enforcement. And it goes into specifics about how you can only do this in very limited situations without patient authorization. And then, even then, it's like only pertinent information. So check out theirs, look at page 4. As I said, I've been poring over a lot of the different associations, position statements and information that they're putting out. And I can tell you overwhelmingly that they are all saying that you should be prioritizing patient care over immigration status. Like, we as medical professionals, we don't even need to know your immigration status. And Washington State Nurses Association, they have some good information on their website. It's WSNA.org. Another good one is the National Immigration Law Center. It's NILC.org. They just updated this for healthcare workers in response to everything that's going on. HHS.gov is another good resource. At worst username ever on TikTok said it best in a video when she said, practice nursing in a way that you won't be embarrassed about 20 or 30 years from now. And I wholeheartedly mimic that and feel that. So in the same way that I personally would never be reporting giving up my patient's pregnancy status. There's no way in hell I'm giving up their immigration status. That's not going to happen. Make an example out of me. I'll take one for the team. I'll be the martyr. That's fine. Practice nursing in a way that you won't be embarrassed about your actions in the future.